Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now, in today's video, I want to talk to you about these, the Radiant Dance Machines. These are an exotic leg item for hunters, and they are currently for sale at Xur. If you do want to pick them up or you haven't got them yet, then make sure you do so before Xur leaves the tower, which will be 9 AM GMT tomorrow. That is Sunday the 25th of January, and then obviously he'll return next week with something else. But yeah, if you do want to pick them up, then make sure you go and pay a visit to Xur. These will set you back 13 strange coins. So aside from these looking really cool, and obviously glowing bright green, what are they good for? Well, let me show you. Firstly, these are what they look like up close and personal in the armor preview. They do look pretty cool. They kind of remind me of the no backup plans for Titans, which are sort of like a similar kind of thing, but they're purple and they go around the arms instead. But the key perks for this item are heavy weapon ammo, which increases the amount of heavy weapon ammunition you can carry, which is always quite handy. And the perk that makes this so special is the dance. You move more quickly while aiming your weapon. So, let me illustrate that. Firstly, if I go back and take these off for a second and just put on my regular raid boots, and then if I scope in with my Thorn, I move forward and backward, left and right, you'll see that I move at a moderate speed. If I then go to equip these, scope in again, and move forward and backward, left and right, you'll notice I move a little bit faster. Now I appreciate seeing that one after the other is a little bit hard to kind of gauge, so let me show you side by side. On the left you have my hunter without the Radiant Dance Machines, and on the right you have the hunter with the Radiant Dance Machines. And hopefully you can see that you cover a little bit more ground with the Radiant Dance Machines equipped. So, the question is, why would you want to use this? Well, the main reason you'd normally want to use this would probably be in the Crucible in PvP, simply because the ability to move faster while aiming down sights does allow you to strafe a lot faster, which is really useful, especially if you've got something like an auto rifle, you know, something where you do really want to be aiming down the sights when you use it, and you don't really want to be firing from the hip unless you are close to the person. Then the ability to actually scope in and move quite fast does allow you to duck behind cover, and that probably will save your life quite a bit. You can see here, obviously right now I'm in the open world, and obviously this isn't the Crucible, it's obviously not quite as dangerous, but you can see the fact that I can quite easily sort of like duck in and out of cover. This will be extremely useful if you are in a position, you know, if you're like under fire, or maybe you're playing something like skirmish, or, you know, double skirmish, where, you know, you haven't got like a revive straight away, and you really are just sort of like, you know, trying to sort of stay alive so you can get your teammate back to you. The ability to sort of duck behind cover and just sort of like strafe out the way of bullets will be really handy. Especially considering most people are quite used to sort of like dealing with people moving at certain paces whilst they aim down sights, so the ability to kind of sort of like throw them off could actually be the difference between life and death. Now if I just switch over to something, say like my secondary weapon for example, I've got a fusion rifle, again the same sort of thing, you know, I still get my increased movement speed whilst aiming down sights. I move around quite fast actually. And if I switch to say something heavier, like my heavy machine gun, again, move around quite speedily. So this does obviously affect all your weapons, or whilst the item is equipped, you are moving faster whilst aiming down sights. Now the only other thing about this armor piece is that the description says, built for swift movement, they provide unexpected and decisive social benefits. Now I have conducted many experiments in the tower, I have danced next to many people, and I've even danced next to people with the Radiant Dance Machines, and to this day I have not seen nor witnessed any unexpected and or decisive social benefits. I appreciate it is just an item description, but I kind of was hoping for something special, something that would make me dance differently, but I'm afraid that is just a lie. These look cool, make you move faster while aiming down the sights, and allow you to carry more heavy ammo, but aside from that, there's nothing more to them. So the question is, should you buy them from Xur? Well, the simple answer is, if you're a collector like me, then yes, just because I want to own every single exotic item for the hunter, and obviously all the exotic weapons, so anytime there's something I don't have, then I will buy them. However, if you are in a position where you don't have quite as many strange coins, you know, and you really do need to think about your purchase, then you might want to give it a little bit more thought. These are, in my opinion, better for, say, the Crucible over, say, something like PvE. They will obviously still have their usage, you know, the ability to kind of just duck behind cover will always protect you from both enemies in the Crucible and in the open world of PvE. But I would deem this as more of a PvP item, and with that in mind, would I use it over something like the Knucklehead Radar, which allows me to always see the radar whilst aiming down sights, or would I use it instead of something like the Acleophage Symbiote, which would give me an extra shot in my Golden Gun, which is a game changer in the Crucible? Probably not, but I would use this in certain circumstances. So I think you should consider buying this for certain game types. If you are an active Crucible player, then I would recommend picking this up, simply because it will suit different types of playstyles. So if you are playing a bigger game, or, you know, something like Control, then maybe you want to use something that just allows you to sort of like dish out more damage, or that might help you deal with like larger crowds of enemies, again like the Acleophage Symbiote, then fair enough. But with the addition of, say, the new team doubles match, I think survival is the most important aspect of that game mode, so with that in mind, I would recommend using them. So at the end of the day, it really is up to you. I do still think they are a good item, and I do think having them equipped will save your life quite a few times, but I'll leave that up to you. And that, my friends, is pretty much all I have for this video. So they are the Radiant Dance Machines, and if you're watching this video today on Saturday the 24th of January, then Zur does still have these for sale, so make sure you go and pick them up. But if you're watching this later in the week, then at least you can just sort of like see what this item does, and then if you do get it in a drop later, then you'll know exactly what to expect. So hopefully you found it helpful, and if you did, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that like button down below, and also make sure you subscribe for daily gaming videos and much more Destiny coverage. Let me know in the comments down below if you've got this item, and if you have, then what do you think of it? And aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.